Welcome to Reading the Bible with Pastor. Today we're on Exodus chapter 16, starting at verse 13. Previously, we had read that God was answering the prayers, the cries, the grumblings of the people, that they were hungry and thirsty. He had already given them water, but now he is going to give them food to eat. In the evening, quail came and covered up the land, and in the morning dew lay around the camp. And when the dew had gone up, there was on the face of the wilderness a fine flake-like thing, fine as frost on the ground. When the people of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "It is the bread that the Lord has given you to eat. This is what the Lord has commanded. Gather of it, each of you, as much as he can eat. You shall each take an omer." An omer is about 2 quarts worth of in volume, according to the number of persons that each of you has in his tent. And the people of Israel did so. They gathered, some more, some less. But when they measured it with an omer, whoever gathered much had nothing left over, and whoever gathered little had no lack. Each of them gathered as much as he could eat. So the Lord works here, and some people were selfish, some people may not have been able to gather as much, but the Lord shows his power here and makes sure that everybody has gathered the right amount. And Moses said to them, "Let no one leave any of it over till the morning." But they did not listen to Moses. Some left part of it till the morning, and it bred worms, and stank. And Moses was angry with them. Morning by morning they gathered it, each as much as he could eat. But when the sun grew hot, it melted. All right, so we see here that God is going to provide for them, and each day they're going to get what they need. And as much as we pray in the Lord's Prayer, our daily bread. But if they don't trust, if they're not being faithful and trying to hoard some of it for the next day, well, it doesn't matter. God's going to make sure it spoils and is useless for them because he's already going to have what they need for the next day. Verse 22. On the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers each. And when all the leaders of the congregation came and told Moses, he said to them, "This is what the Lord has commanded. Tomorrow is a day of solemn rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake and boil what you will boil, and all that is left over lay aside to be kept till morning." So they lay it aside till the morning, as Moses commanded them, and it did not stink, and there were no worms in it. So unlike the other days of the week, where if it was held over to the next day, it rotted. Here, though, on the Sabbath, that is Saturday, it stayed. It kept over. It did not spoil. Moses said, "Eat it today, for today is a Sabbath to the Lord. Today you will not find it in the field. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is a Sabbath, there will be none." On the 7th day some of the people went out to gather, but they found none. And the Lord said to Moses, "How long will you refuse to keep my commandments and my laws? See, the Lord has given you the Sabbath. Therefore on the 6th day he has given you bread for 2 days. Remain each of you in his place. Let no one go out of his place on the 7th day." So the people rested on the 7th day. All right, so what's the deal with the 7th day, this Sabbath day? Well, we can look all the way back to the beginning of Genesis, and that's during the creation, the week of creation. And you might think, oh, we need to look at chapter 1, but actually it's the beginning of chapter 2. And this is what happens on the 7th day. "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day God finished his work on that he had done. And he rested on the 7th day from all his work that he had done. So God blessed the 7th day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all his work that he had done in creation." Sabbath day is made holy by God, and he still provides for his people by, on Friday, they are able to gather twice as much, and it is kept. They are able to keep some over for the Sabbath day. We'll continue with verse 31. Now the house of Israel called this name manna, which is basically, what is this? It was like coriander seed, white, and tasted of it, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Moses said, "This is what the Lord has commanded. Let an omer of it be kept throughout your generations, so that they may see the bread which I fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you out of the land of Egypt." And Moses said to Aaron, "Take a jar and put an omer of manna in it, and place it before the Lord to be kept throughout your generations." As the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron placed it before the testimony to be kept. The people of Israel ate the manna 40 years, till they came to a habitable land. They ate the manna till they came to the border of the land of Canaan. An omer is a tenth of an ephah. All right, so God gives them manna to eat, and they're going to eat this bread that he gives throughout their time in the wilderness. Now, manna, this bread, is spoken about again with Christ. We look all the way back, all the way forward now to Jesus feeding the 5,000. That's John chapter 6. He talks about the manna given in the wilderness. So this is John chapter 6, and if we take a look at verse 28. Then they said to him, "What must we do to be doing the good works of God?" Jesus answered them, "This is the work of God, that you believe in him, whom he has sent." So they said to him, "Then what sign do you do, that we may see and believe you? What work do you perform?" And they're saying all this after he had fed the 5,000. "Our fathers ate the manna in the wilderness, as it is written. He gave them bread from heaven to eat." Jesus then said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, it was not Moses who gave you the bread from heaven, but my Father gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world." They said to him, "Sir, give us this bread always." Jesus said to them, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger, and whoever believes in me shall never thirst." This points all the way back to our Exodus study here, Exodus chapter 16, where God gives them food and water to slake their hunger and thirst. If you want to hear more about John chapter 6, I'll leave the link there at the end of the video for John chapter 6, so that you can look that up as well. We'll pick up next time with Exodus chapter 17. As always, please subscribe to the channel and share this with others so that they may also read the Bible with Pastor.